Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping they will cave and swallow me whole. Wonder why my mind keeps on spinning. This isn't how living to me was sold. Why am I like this? Something's always amiss. Can't put my finger on it, but it's there. Wait for it to subside, but my mind won't apply. Waiting for the clear. Is it bad? Sometimes I like it when I lose control. There's something in it that's so beautiful.
Hello, and welcome to another installment of the Pillow Talk. Where on today's episode, we're doing something a little different. We're doing part two of another episode. You might have already heard it. We did Fuckboy Fridays already, and this is the second installment of Fuckboy Fridays. I'm your co-host Jacob, and
Cedia. Hi everyone, welcome.
hello. And yeah, I think it's a little bit fitting that we're talking about fuckboys this weekend. At least my version of fuckboys, because yours was completely different. I'm going to be talking about my experience with fuckboys, the different types of fuckboys that I've encountered, and Cydia just has to sit and listen to all of the horrible sexual experiences that I went through with all of these terrible men. Because unlike her, I actually got in their pants, which
Oh my
which I do not think is good. I'm not I don't think it's good in any way, at all.
Well, I will
I'm
be
actually
providing some commentary,
some commentary.
but yeah.
Okay. Well, I think the first one that I'm gonna wanna I guess talk about, nobody but one of my really close friends knows about this. Well, I've told a lot of people about this, but I have a friend that actually experienced this with me, or not. Like, she wasn't there. So back in the
Question.
day, yes.
Are we
Uh-huh.
giving this person a nickname or
Yes, I
a
will be
code
giving
name?
him a code name when I get to the whole situation. He will have a code name. His code name is uh Wolfie.
Oh my god, I know this story. I'm excited. Okay, continue. I was like kind of low key being like, "Oh, do I not know this one?" But
No,
now
you
I
know
know
this
which one
one.
you're
You know which one
I
I'm
know what
about
you're
to
talking about.
fucking talk about.
I'm I'm making a soundbite for him as we speak.
Oh my god. So before I'll get into a little bit of context about how I met this guy. So back in the day, when I first came out, I would use Grinder. But as many people may know, and we will eventually talk about it, and if you don't already know, Grinder is like toxic as fuck. Um, but I turned to other websites for means of finding sexual partners. Um, Sometimes I wasn't always only looking for sexual partners. Sometimes I was looking for friends. Sometimes I was looking for guys to possibly date. Well, one of the websites that I turned to, or one of the apps that I turned to, was called, back in the day, it was called My Yearbook. Have you ever heard of? Did you ever?
No, I
No,
know of like Moco Space
oh god, no, not Mogul Space.
and like and like MySpace, and that's like the only two.
Well,
Shout
okay,
out to everybody who knows what Moco Space is.
um, so I turned to a platform when I was still in high school called My Yearbook, and I didn't really do anything on it. Like, it was mainly like just to one of my friends made me get it. But then following my graduation, it turned into Meet Me. Did you ever partake in Meet Me? Did you ever use Meet Me?
No.
Oh my god. Okay, so Meet Me, you create your profile and it's not actually a dating site, but they had this one like you would like kind of like Tinder, you swipe right, swipe left or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And it was really just like a social media platform where you could like post stuff. There was like the interactive portion where you can actually post things and people would comment on it and shit. And then there was the portion where like it was used for like meeting new people. I met a guy on there and I'm gonna call him Wolfie only because I don't remember his name. Like I really don't remember his name. I know he's from far, and he's not my current boyfriend. But I know he's from far. And I remember we would talk back and forth, and he told me that he wasn't gay. In fact, he had a girlfriend, or I think he had a girlfriend. I'm not sure. I don't really remember. He might have had a girlfriend because looking back on it now, I hooked up. I would hook up with a lot of fuckboys that had girlfriends, and this fuckboy was like a fuck boy. Like he was like one of those fresa guys. Ew! Triggered. Oh my god. So you know what a fresa is, right? The fresio.
Yeah. I mean, for all of our non-Spanish speaking audience, it's basically like a really preppy, posh sounding um like Latino, Latinx
Yeah,
person.
very.
But like think of like posh, you know how like some
I
British
wouldn't
people are
say
like posh?
posh. I wouldn't say posh.
Well, well, like they think that they're like high class, but they're not.
Yeah, actually, you know what? They do. I now that I think about it, they
Some
do
of
they
them
do feel like
are.
that. Some of them are,
Some of
yeah,
them
and
are,
like
but
some of them do come from money, and a lot of them started with humble beginnings, and then they came into money, and I guess forgot the humbleness. But he was actually really nice. We would chat back and forth, and then one day he like was like, "Do you want to come over? Like, we could fuck around," and I was like. Mind you, this was like my second, no, my third. It was gonna be my third sexual experience with a man, with a dude.
oh,
Um, and back in the day, I thought I was a bottom. Back in the day, I was like, I'm only a bottom because I was like very feminine, and I thought that I needed to conform to that societal standard of being a bottom. And
I would
yeah,
like to just confirm that you are still one.
fuck you, I'm not a bottom. I'm proudly versed now. Anyway, back to the whole. Okay, so what ended up happening when I showed up to his house, I walk in. Mind you, he wasn't ugly, but he wasn't attractive either. He had a beard, and I think that's what turned me on to him was the fact that he had a beard. Um he had an accent, like a really heavy accent, which I was okay with. Like I didn't mind. Um And the reason I consider him a fuck boy is because he just wanted sex. That's all he wanted. But at least he was able to admit it. We would talk every now and then finally he was like, like I want you to come over. I had a friend of mine, like I had a car back in the day. I drove all the way to his house in Far with one of my friends because I was like, oh my god, this is my second like hookup. They're like, eh. Every other sexual experience I had was either at school, like in the bathroom, which we'll get into it later, um, or it was like in a field close to my house. So this is my second hookup. No, my third hookup. Sorry, yeah, my second hookup that wasn't either at school or close to my house. It was at someone else's house. And I had heard all of these horror stories of guys that would like either get like killed or kidnapped or like all this stuff. Like my mom made me feel like I was gonna fucking get like killed by anybody that like I tried to hook up with or anything like that. So I took one of my friends with me and she waited in the car with me. we start going at it, and we're starting to like get hot and heavy and roll like stammy on his couch, and we're there making out. and I straddle him as he's sitting down, and he's like grabbing onto me. I remember his pee size was like, I want to say it was like 7 or 8 inches, which was like okay, but like also like kind of scary because I don't like big peepees. Me no likey big peepees. Me no likey big peepees. Big peepees scare me.
Oh my
um.
god.
So then he was like, "Do you want to go to the restroom?" I guess because I don't know, he had condoms in the restroom, I guess, and he put on a condom, and we were in the restroom, and he was going at it. He was going to town. Okay.
Oh my
Um,
god.
and then he starts barking. Yeah, while he's inside me, he
Oh
starts barking,
my god.
and then he bites me on my shoulder, and he starts like howling. Yes, and I was like, mind you, I'm there, like, you know,
Oh my
getting
god.
the deed done, and I just kind of like, I just kind of like moved out of the way, and I was like, this isn't. I'm I'm good. This isn't gonna work. So I literally ran to his. I don't know what it was. It wasn't a living room. I guess it was like a day room or whatever. I grabbed all of my clothes. I only put on my underwear and shorts. I think I was wearing pants. I was wearing pants. I grabbed my shoes, my socks, my shirt, and I ran out of that place. And he was completely naked, and he was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, bye, I gotta go." And I just ran into the car, got in the car. My friend was like, "What the fuck happened?" I was like, "Just drive now. Get me the fuck out of here." Cause he had started barking and howling. And they weren't like normal fucking barking and howling. It was like, and then like the fact that he bit me, like I was just like, what the fuck? Like, where did this come from? Like, this is fucking crazy. So yeah, that's one of my weird. And I ended up messaging him a couple weeks later, and I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I just thought it was weird that you like barked." And he was like, "I was having a lot of fun, but you made me realize I'm not gay." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Well, I liked it, and I liked being inside you, and I liked kissing you. So maybe I am gay. I just need to find somebody that doesn't freak out when I howl." And I was like, "What the fuck? What the
I
fuck?"
am very confused for
Me
you.
too. Me too. I don't know. Maybe he wanted to have. Maybe he's into bestiality. I don't know.
Oh no.
So yes, that's a Wolfie. Um, I guess the next fuckboy that I'll talk about, it's one that's a little bit more. Oh my god, it's a little bit more
Sorry.
serious. I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get a little bit more serious, and I'm gonna call this one. We're gonna call him Baby Daddy. Um, we're gonna call him my baby daddy. Um, and all of my fuckboy experiences are all um sexual. They all turn sexual because I'm the stupid ass that was dumb enough to. Oh my god. Ew.
I thought
Ew,
that
what
was
the
perfect.
fuck was that?
That was my hentai girl
Oh my
soundbite that
god.
I did.
Ew.
I didn't voice
I love
act
it
that one.
actually.
I found it. I
Oh
found
my
it.
god. Well, yeah,
All
so
right,
all of
continue.
all of my fuckboy experiences turn sexual. Um because I feel like if a fuckboy is a fuckboy, he deserves to be fucked, and that's it. And I was like the one that was stupid enough to just actually give a fuckboy what it is that he wants. But some of these fuckboys actually wanted me. Like, you know, and they wanted me. This next one that we're gonna talk about actually wanted me. Like he wanted me. And all I wanted was sex. So I guess in a way with this whole situation, I was a fuckboy, but he was a fuckboy in my eyes because so this was my very first ever sexual experience with a man, and it happened at school in high school. It was my junior year of high school. And it was this guy, I'm gonna call him baby daddy. Because he ended up having a kid, with one of my friends actually. And her and I are fine. Like we're good, we're friends. But he would fuck around with me. He would message me. It was so weird how the things happened. He started dating one of my mutual friends. Like I wasn't friends with this girl at all, but he was dating her, and my best friend at the time, that was her best friend. It was like a weird we have like a weird, yeah. So that girl didn't like me, and she didn't like me because I was super gay. And I remember being at a dance, and he came up to me and he was like, "Hey Jacob." And I was like, "What's up?" And he was like, "Do you want to dance?" And I was like, "Aren't you like dating like so and so or whatever the fuck?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, sort of, but I want to dance with you." And I was like, "I am good. I'm going to go." And then I think did we talk have we talked on here about the fight that I got into with a girl?
No, we've never talked about
No?
this.
Okay.
We talked about you getting almost like stabbed with
Stabbed.
scissors.
Okay, well, I'll talk about my fight with a girl later. I didn't actually get into a fight with her. I did not lay my hands on her. I would never lay my hands on a woman, but I did get into an altercation with a girl at school. And that day that I got into the altercation, I did get punched in the face. And for whatever reason, he reached out to me. I think he might have gotten my number, or he asked for my Facebook from one of my friends, because I remember I knew that he was gonna come and ask, like, talk to me. Or I didn't know if he was gonna come talk to me or if he was trying to reach out to me like for after school or whatever. But he reached out to me, and I knew that he was gonna reach out to me because one of my friends was like, "Oh yeah, he was looking for you, but he asked for like your Facebook name and like your phone number or whatever." And I didn't give him your phone number, but he might reach out to you on Facebook, blah blah blah. I was like, "Whatever, okay, fine." So I'm there and I receive a message from him, and he's just like, "Hey, like, I just wanted to check on you, like to see if you were okay." And I was like, "I'm good. Like, what do you need? What do you want?" And he was like, "Well, like I just want to make sure you're okay because I know that you like, you just got into a fight and that seemed like really serious, and I wanted to just check on you to see if you were okay." And I was like, I'm good. And I'm okay. Like, thank you for checking in on me, but I was like, I'm good. And then he was like, "So what's up?" And I was like, "What do you mean what's up? Like what like what?" Like, and he was like, "Well, like you I want to get to know you a little bit." And I was like, "Aren't you like straight?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, but like, why can't I get to know you? Why can't I be friends with you?" I was like, "First of all, your girlfriend don't like me cuz I'm too gay. So I don't know why you here like trying to like talk to me. Like what is this?"
Right.
He ended up admitting to me that yes, although he's dating some girl, that things don't always go really well with her, and that he's thinking about dumping her because he wants to experience certain things that she cannot that she cannot give him, and that he's always wanted to experience these things, and that he's always found me attractive. Mind you, in high school, I didn't really have insecurity about my body, but I was like, why would anybody like me if I'm like chubby? I guess he was like into that or whatever, because we ended up getting into conversations where we were talking about sexual things, and him and the girl, they ended up breaking up. And right away, like a couple weeks later, he gets into a relationship with one of my close friends' sister. And I'm just there like, what
Is this
about
why you did it?
me? Yes.
Oh no.
So I'm like, what about me? Like, what, like, why? Like, you're over here talking to me, and you're telling me all of these things that you want to get to know me, and you want to try all of these things, and you're saying you want to do it with me. Like, why are you fucking getting into relationships with all these girls left and right? Like, what the fuck? And he's like, well, because like I can't tell people about you. Like, I wouldn't. He's like pretty much insinuating that he needed a beard. And I was kind of like into it at the time because I was like, oh my God, I'm someone's secret. Mm.
Oh my god.
For some reason, I thought that was like attractive and hot or whatever because I guess I was like, I'm in high school and like to be someone's dirty little secret. So he was like, I want to hook up with you, but I also want to take this girl seriously. But I don't want to hook up with you unless I'm fighting with her. Because for whatever reason, he felt like he was going to get into an argument with this new girl anyway. So one day, I was like stupid. I didn't do chemistry really well. And I had to do Saturday schools on like computer and stuff, like online or whatever. And he was the same way too. But I think his was like something else. I think his was like biology or something. Um, and I remember going to school for my Saturday school to complete my chemistry, and we were in the same class. We were in the same like room or whatever, and he would sit on the other side of the room. He would never sit next to me, and every time he'd walk in, he'd like kind of like wink at me, or he'd like do that whole like sup thing with his head, but he'd never actually verbally say hi to me. And then one day I'm like sitting there doing my work and I receive a text message from him and he's like, meet me in the boys' restroom in the 100 hall room, in the restroom or whatever. And I was like, oh my God. So
That
I
was you.
go and yeah, I go and in no way did I ever think that I was ever gonna date this guy or anything like that. I in fact like I wanted to hook up with him because I also hadn't experienced anything with anybody. Like I've never had a first kiss. I had never had like any of those things. And he was my first kiss. This guy was my first kiss. He was my first kiss. He was my first we exchanged oral pleasures with each other in the restroom. But a little bit on like how things went down. I went into the restroom stall. I went into the big one. It's Saturday, so we thought like, oh, no one's gonna be there. He walks in and he had like snake bites. Do you remember when guys had snake bites?
Yeah, it was like low key cringe, but
It was
yeah.
low-key cringe, but we all thought it was the hottest thing ever, and I thought it was the hottest thing ever.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this guy is like so hot, and he starts making out with me, and I'm like there like wetting my pants, getting all hot and bothered and stuff like that. We do the nasty, right? And I start out
Wait,
by
was that your first bottom experience?
no, I didn't bottom. I didn't bottom. That was not my first bottom
Wait,
experience.
did he bottom?
No, we both just I just said we exchanged oral pleasures.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
he
Sorry.
went first and he did his thing and the stuff did the stuff with the stuff and then he was like, "Well, now I want to do you." And I was like looking at him like, "What? Like
What?
you want my in your mouth?"
Pussy?
Like,
Oh, never
no,
mind.
my like yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
in
yeah,
his
yeah.
and I was like, "This is so weird. I've never experienced this." And I was like, "Okay, fine." So I do it.
You let him?
I let him go at it. And I started feeling this weird thing and he like opened his mouth and like I guess moved back and he was like, "Oh, I think you're bleeding."
What?
And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "I think you're bleeding." He had his snake bites in. So this is my theory. I got cut by his snake bites. That's one thing that I think it was. But also, I had never done anything like with another person down there, and I had never like I wasn't like actively jerking off like really hard. Okay, like I wasn't like 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 that wasn't my thing. Okay, like and yeah, so like I hate you. Oh my god.
That's my favorite one. I
I
think I have like
hate it.
I I feel like I have like a soundbite of the week that's like my favorite. It was the DJ horn, and then it was like wow, and then now it's like this one. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Oh my god.
But I just imagine you like with like an anime girl hentai voice.
Why?
Just
Oh my
like
god. Oh my god.
okay,
Ew.
continue.
So
Okay, so
like
theories on like why you were bleeding?
one, it was either because of his snake bites and like the metal ring on his lip was cutting into my wee wee while he was, yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. But it was I'm not, it wasn't a lot of blood. He could taste it, but it wasn't a lot of blood. Like he thought it was weird, and we like kind of cleaned it off or whatever, and he just went back at it. And then the impossible happened. Somebody walked into the restroom.
Oh no.
And I like went around the toilet to sit, like not sit on the toilet, like I was standing in front of the toilet as if I was like peeing or whatever. And he jumped on top of the toilet. He was standing on top of the toilet and he kept going. While this person was using the restroom, he kept going while I was standing.
Oh my god.
It was I occasionally think about it from time to time, and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Like it was bad. Um
Imagine being that person going to the restroom and
that
like
that
you
person
having
peed and like booked it after that. Like he didn't, I don't even I think he didn't even wash his hands. Whoever was in there didn't even wash their hands
wait, do
because
you
I
think
high
that
key, I think they
knew?
knew. I think they knew.
Uh,
Yeah. So
gay
we
panic.
yeah, we kept going. I finished. I went and peed in the other stall because there was two stalls, and he was like, "Don't tell anybody." He went to wash his hands, and I was peeing in the other stall because I remember at that age I already knew, like, after you're done, like, you have to pee because you don't
You're
want to risk
dead.
getting, yeah. So I peed, and he was washing his hands, and he's passing by the stall, and he was like, "You better not tell anybody about this, or I'll have to fuck you."
Oh my god.
Not "I'll fuck you up." No, he literally said, these were his exact words verbatim. "You better not tell anybody about this, or I'll have to fuck you." So we continue talking from time to time, and people ended up finding out about us because one of my friends who would borrow my phone to text her boyfriend came across our text messages, and she showed his cousin. So the whole school found out about us, that we hooked
Oh
up.
my god. But it wasn't because of you.
It wasn't because of me, no. In fact, I had his name saved as like something else, but apparently this person knew his number, and on my phone it shows the name and the number like right under it, even though you have it saved.
Uh-huh.
So she knew the number, and she was like, that's his number. Like, why, like," and she starts reading the text messages and then shows his cousin the text messages, and I was like freaking out because by that time everybody had heard about it, and everybody had already been talking about the two gay guys that were hooking up in the restroom stall on Saturday, because that person who had walked in obviously knew about it and went and
Oh
told
my
people.
god. Oh no. That's
Like obviously he didn't,
awful.
yeah, it's super awkward because both him and I knew it was me and him that they were talking about, and the teachers had heard about. I remember one of my teachers was like, "Was it you?" And I was like, "I'm not the only gay guy in the school. Like, why are you blaming me?" Like,
Oh my god. They're
and it
just
was
like
just,
everybody just knew it was you.
and I don't know what made everyone think it was me, but I guess everyone thought it was me, and like, and whatever. I guess okay. I ended up becoming the talk of the school, and apparently his cousin was gonna like beat me up, and
What?
I remember he was still in the relationship with that girl, and the time that we hooked up, it was because they were fighting. And I guess I kind of went to like a sort of like a progressive ish school because it didn't bother her that he was out here hooking up with dudes. He denied it, of course, he denied it. And apparently she told everybody if he ever tells me that they hooked up, I don't want to hear about it because I don't want to believe it or whatever the fuck. Like I don't want to believe that my boyfriend is hooking up with dudes or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, but you know your
Sis,
boyfriend's
you're in
hooking up with
denial.
dudes. Like, um,
Yeah.
it even got to the point where he wanted to break up with her. So he even told her I did hook up with him.
Oh my god.
And she was so like no, like she didn't want to think about it. And she was
In
like
denial.
in denial. And she apparently like I don't know how it happened. Him and I were still talking, even though he was mad at me. He would still talk to me because he was like, "We're in this together," but I'm still mad at you. And he would still we would talk from time to time. And all of my friends were like, they knew about everything. And she and I ended up getting into an altercation as well. This was a separate time. And then a couple days later, she was like, "I'm not with him anymore, and I wanted to talk to you because I want to air things out." She was like, "I don't want to hear about your time with him. I just want to like." We can't be fighting because we were friends with mutual friends and we talked and we got to know each other, me and that girl, and we ended up becoming friends and everything was okay. They broke up and then a couple months later she was pregnant. She was pregnant, yeah, with his baby. And it was like it was so weird because I was like, I'm never gonna be able to do stuff with him ever again. I was a little bit sad because I was like, I wanted to hook up. I got to hook up with him once, and then after that, like a couple months later, he ends up fucking with child or whatever. Our senior year of high school, although they were together, they would still fight and they would break up, even though she was having his kid, and he would hit me up. So he was the fuckboy in this regard. She had the baby. They were always arguing. They were not supposed to be together, and apparently she got pregnant because she wanted to be with him on purpose. Like she did it on purpose. He loved his child, but he would always say that he wished that he hadn't fucked up that. And this one time he like told me that he had always fantasized about being with me. That he wanted to be with me, that we would end up together and that we would have a place together and that he would come home from work and I would be there waiting for him for us to have sex and then we'd cuddle and then we'd like do like our thing or whatever and all this stuff. And I was like, you fucking ruined that for yourself. In fact, I never wanted that with you. Like, that was all in your head. If you ever thought that I was going to do that with you, like I got turned off by you the moment that you started dating all of like the girls that I was friends with or the girls that were friends with my friends. I got turned off by him. And then we ended up hooking up again. I
Oh
got
my
over those things
god.
and he got over those things. We ended up hooking up again. We hooked up behind the it was on a Saturday again.
Oh my god.
This time it wasn't in the restroom. It was in front of the orchestra hall inside. His dad was a janitor and he had the keys to um pretty much every room, pretty much. But he for whatever reason he knew about this like a garden that was behind the special ed classes.
Oh my
It was like
god.
a garden or whatever. And he was like, meet me here at this time, blah blah blah, whatever. And I was like, oh god, okay. We did it, and I went and we did our thing, and then after that we kind of like ew. um
Sorry, I meant this one.
Ew. I hate this. um so I thought things between him and I were gonna end because of course he has a baby. They didn't. We graduated from high school, we went to college. We went to the same school together, and my friend, she ended up graduating from high school. She was only a year younger than us. She ended up graduating from high school. She went to school where we were going. It was STC. And I remember one day somebody told her, Why are you in denial about your boyfriend being with Jacob? It actually happened.
Oh my
Like,
god.
and she came to me and she was like, Are you still hooking up with him? And I'm like, I only hook up with him when you two are having problems.
Oh my god, Jacob. You shouldn't have hooked up with him.
I know. Well, she was like,
That was
Hold
super
on, hold
bad.
on. It was really
Naughty,
bad. It was really,
naughty.
really bad. Um, she was like, I would rather him hook up with you than another girl or any other guy.
That
And
is so problematic for her too.
I was like, what? And she was like, I would rather you be his mistress because I can trust you. Because she knew me.
Ew!
We were
That
friends.
is
Like
so fucked.
she was
That's
like,
so
you
fucked.
yes, it is so fucked. It was so weird. And she pretty much told me I was allowed to do all of that with him. And we we kept going. We kept doing it for a while. And then after a while I was like, I need to stop wanting this guy because I'm not doing anything with the rest of my love life. I'm not finding a boyfriend. I remember I would get into relationships with guys and it would never work out because I was always thinking of him. And I never had feelings for him that way. I just always wanted to have sex with him. Like that's what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, like so um I cut things off with him and things were like really weird and I was still friends with the girl. We were fine. But he would still message me. He would message me even I think the last time I spoke to him was 2 years ago. I was struggling with my last ex relationship, the one that I was with for 2 years. And I remember we met a couple times when I was having problems with that guy. I would meet up with him. Yeah. So
Wow.
that was a little bit more of a serious fuckboy experience, and I consider him a fuckboy because he was in a relationship with somebody and was still looking for me. Turns out he was also a stalker because um apparently he had been in love with me since the 6th grade. I didn't even fucking know that I knew him in the 6th grade.
What?
I didn't even know that I knew him in the 6th grade, dude. Like he told me that in the 6th grade he would bully me, and I was like, I don't remember fucking being bullied in the 6th grade. Like, who the fuck was
Oh,
bullying me in the 6th grade?
oh my
Turns
god,
out,
this reminds me of like Glee and that bully and the gay kid, but the
no,
bully ended up
no,
being
no,
gay.
no. Like, well, okay, listen, he wasn't bullying me. He thought he was bullying me. I was just annoyed with his shit. We had sixth grade math together, middle school math together, and he sat behind me. I don't even remember that this was him. I don't. But he says that it was him, and I was just like, what the fuck? But apparently he's been in love with me since that time, and he would bully me. He would bother me. I'm gonna say he bothered me because he didn't bully me. You remember when they had those holographic folders? The holograms, you would shift them
Like
and it would
Lisa
move.
Frank?
Yeah, but
Oh,
it wasn't a
oh,
Lisa
oh,
Frank folder.
yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. They had
Okay,
like fucking dolphins or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, shit like that,
yeah,
or it'd be like a Marvel thing or whatever the fuck. Well, he had a
yeah,
folder, and that folder was holographic. The whole folder was holographic, and a lot of people had those holographic stickers and those holographic like everything, and
yeah.
I hate with a burning passion all of those things because they're the ones that are textured, and when you run your fingernails over them, it
Oh,
makes that. I hate that
yeah.
sound.
It's
I
like,
hate that sound. Yes, I hate that sound. Okay, he had one, and he sat behind me, and he would fucking like always be fucking scratching it, and I would just be there like, and I was so grossed out by it. Like I hated the sound, and I remember I I got into a fight with him, and I didn't even know it was him, and I told him like, quit your shit, and I grabbed the folder and I threw it across the room, and he said that since that day he was in love with me.
Oh my god. He likes a dom.
And I was like, I didn't even know it was him. I found that out after we graduated from high school, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, and I was like, it pisses me off because it kind of makes me think, like, if you've been in love with me since then, like, why didn't you do something about it? Instead of going and dating all of my friends to turn me off to you, like, what guy that wasn't a turn on to me. I didn't like that he went and dated like so many of my girlfriends. He was really attractive too. Like, he was
Can you send me a picture of this
fine. I,
man?
I, I don't have. You can look him up. I'll type his name in the chat, and you can look. He
Okay.
blocked me. He blocked me because, like, yeah, the last time that we hooked up, he was like, "This is the last time we're ever gonna hook up because I'm talking to this girl, and I'm actually serious about this one, and I want things to work out with this one." So he blocked me, and I think he last I heard he moved to somewhere else, up north Texas.
Oh my
But you
god, send
can
me his name. Baby
look him
daddy, right?
up.
That's his name.
Yes, his name is Baby Daddy, the Baby Daddy.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my god, you're looking him up. Oh my god, I have not been able to find anything on him because he blocked me on everything. He blocked me several times throughout our relationship because people found out about us, but it was never my fault. Like, it was never my fault. People would, like, I had friends that would borrow my phone and they'd think it's okay to go and, like, go through my phone. Like, they thought it was okay to go through my text messages, and then they'd disseminate my fucking text messages to people.
Oh, y'all, he
And
fine.
no, oh my
Wow.
god.
He's like a bear or like a daddy.
He
Very
is now
muscular.
very, yeah, he's muscular. He has a beard. He has a lot of tattoos. He would go to the gym a lot. I
Oh my
remember several
god,
times he wanted
he's
me to go hook up with
hot.
him at the gym. I would have honestly. There was a point in time where, like, I was like, I'm ready to raise his kids. That's how good the sex was.
Wow. He's a Pisces. No, wait, not a Pisces.
He's an Aries.
He's a he's an Aries, yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was ready to be a baby mama. Like, I was ready to raise his child. Actually, we had this, like, weird fantasy, super random. Um, we had this weird fantasy that his baby mama would find he wanted his baby mama to be with my best friend, my best lesbian friend, because she's bisexual. That's why she was so okay with him and I. Um, he had this weird, like, fantasy in his head that him and I and her and my best friend would be this weird modern family where we'd all be living in a house together and we'd be raising this one child and we'd just, like, raise more kids, like, the four of us. And thinking back on it now, the sound of it actually sounds kind of cute, and it sounds very like it could work, and it would work because it's literally a household of two gay parents consisting of one gay man, a lesbian, and two bisexual, like a man and woman who are bisexual. Um, and I actually could see it working. I could see it being a thing, and it would have been the cutest thing ever. Um, but it wasn't gonna work out. There was too much damage that was done between the my friend and him that it just wouldn't have been healthy, I guess. But I was ready to be a baby mama for him. That's why I call him my baby daddy.
Oh my
I can't
god.
imagine
That's
I'd freak out if I saw him at the reunion. Um,
Would you go to your school's reunion?
I want to go to my school reunion in drag, but if I saw him, I'd probably freak out. I don't have, like, any, like, feelings for
Feelings?
him. Yeah, I don't have feelings for him. Um, but it would just be, like, really weird because I feel like he'd show up, like, with his new girlfriend, and if I'm not mistaken, she's pregnant.
No, okay, so I just researched it. He's engaged.
Ew!
And I think they do have a kid together.
The girl, if is it how old does she look? Is it a child, like a girl child? Or is it a
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's
No, no, no.
his
No, it's a okay, so they have a boy and a girl.
the boy is probably hers. How small is the
Yeah.
boy?
It, the,
It's
the
been
boy
3
looks like a couple
years.
months.
Oh, okay, then he just got another girl pregnant cuz yeah, that would have been me. Could you imagine
Oh,
me with like 2 kids? Could you imagine me like showing up to like the our functions with 2 kids and that guy?
that would
Like
that'd be wild. I think for our viewers, or no, for listeners, sorry, I keep calling all viewers. So I think the lesson to be learned from the situation is just know when to walk away from the fuck
yeah.
boys. The
Yeah.
signs are the fickleness of their feelings and their unwillingness to commit fully. Just if they're not willing to commit to you, sis, run for the
Yeah.
hills.
Yeah. Those are my 2. The one of them is like an absurd, like gross, like fuck boy. I have a lot of experiences, obviously, but those are the 2 that I thought of today when I knew that we were coming to do this. um,
Yes, we
I
do.
we do
Go
what?
on, sorry.
All I was gonna say is that I did try ending things several times, and I should have been the one to always be blocking him, and I should have only had to block him once. Actually, I don't even like blocking people. I really don't like blocking people.
Me
Um,
neither.
I think yeah, and he I think if I wasn't within the current relationship that I'm in right now, if he came down and was like, "Let's get together," I'd I'd say yes. I would
No!
do
He's
it. No,
so
I
cute
would.
though.
Yeah, I know.
He's hot. Y'all, I wish I could like show him to our audience. He is fine, like model fine. He's
Oh
so
my
hot.
god.
Sorry,
No, yeah, we would have made the cutest couple. That's all I'm gonna say.
honestly.
And he accepted me for the way I looked always. Like I'd always be like, "Oh my god, I'm fat." And he'd be like, "No, I love your body the way it is because for those of you who don't know what I look like, I do have feminine body features. I don't know if you've ever noticed, Cydia. I do have like a more cinched in waist, and I do have my chest isn't normal, right? Like I do have um the medical term for it is gynecomastia. I don't know how that happened, or what. Ew. But every guy who has ever like hooked up with me looks at my boobs and they're just like they're mesmerized with my body because I do have a very feminine looking body. Um Probably not no more, but back in the day, like
Oh, wow.
what?
Okay, so gynecomastia, just for for our listeners, is an enlargement or swelling of breast tissue in males. It is most commonly caused by male estrogen levels that are too high or are out of balance with testosterone levels. I wonder if like what if like we give you like a shit ton of like testosterone?
I'd probably drop weight like crazy.
Holy shit.
Like I
Can we do
would.
that? Can we do that for like oh my god, like a YouTube video? Like for example,
But I need the
we do
boobies.
well if you like your boobies, that's fine then. But
Like
like
I need them for
but it'd make it
drag.
interesting.
It is. So like okay, so a little bit of my journey with my gender and my sexuality, there was a point in time when I did feel like I wasn't I was like I'm a girl, like I was convinced I was a girl. It was very short. It was probably like it lasted about a year, nobody knew about it. I think only my friends at the time knew about it. It's kind of the reason why I started drag, but then after that I was like no, like I'm a guy, like I mean I still kind of sometimes feel like I'm somewhere in the middle, and I will always feel like I'm somewhere in the middle. So I guess technically my gender, I will answer to any gender pronoun. Pretty much, you can call me like like she, her, hers, him, whatever it is that you may refer me to me as, and I'll answer to it. Because although I am male, I do have very feminine features, and I'm very outwardly feminine presenting. But I know I'm comfortable in my skin, I guess, and I would never change anything about that because I have the
If
ability
you
to change my face.
Yeah. If you didn't have, like, a beard, I'd say you're very androgynous.
Yeah, when I do shave my beard off completely, I've been clocked for like people have like looked at me and been like, "That's a woman." From behind, from the front, if I don't have a beard on, like, and I'm freshly shaven, like no stubble at all, I've been told that I look like a woman or that I look like something in between, and I'm very proud of it, and I'm very secure in my femininity, and I think doing drag is what helped me realize like um for me at least from my gender journey, it's okay to be something in the middle and for me to stay feeling like I'm something in the middle. um I've always identified as queer. I'm a queer man uh that likes to play with gender every now and then, and it's not something that I actively like talk to people about because some people don't understand it, and even those who do understand it, I kind of feel like they want to put you in this like gender box, even though we're not like the LGBT community like doesn't like putting people in like these gender boxes, but it ends up happening anyway because, well, at least for me, like I've felt like with the community that we're in, specifically for fighting for like LGBTQ rights, we have to be outwardly presenting of all of these things so that way people kind of like understand, you know, where it is that we're coming from. And yeah, men have always looked at me as like this uh piece of in between because of my body and the way I look. I think when I started growing out the beard, it was kind of to hide that fact, mainly because I wanted to find somebody that cared for and loved me for me rather than the idea of I guess what's the word for it? Fetishizing me, because I felt like for a while I was very fetishized as a person because of my presenting, and a lot of fuckboys would were interested in me because I presented like this. Like I looked from behind, I don't look like a male. Like I don't look like a man. I have a wider set hips. My stomach doesn't protrude out like men's stomachs do. I have the fat on the side of my chest that pops out, and you can see, you know, from the front or the back that I don't look like very normal, I guess I will say. And it's
Mhm.
something that I've had to come to terms with, and a lot of men who want to dabble in sleeping with gay men, but they don't want to be like, oh, it's a gay man, I guess, um, have come through. I
Oh my god.
always have safe sex. I've always That's a very big thing of mine. No fuck boy has ever been like, we're not using a condom. No, you're using a condom no matter what. Like, so yeah, I guess like the
That's good.
moral of the story, yeah, the moral of the story is don't let fuck boys get too entangled in your life.
Yeah. If anything, if you do wanna entertain it, just, like, for, like, a brief moment, and then yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But don't
made
be
the
too
mistake of
invested.
I made the mistake of being too invested, and for a while I was kind of like, but I mean, like if you look at him, you would understand why I was so invested, because at one point I did like him, and at one point I was like so enamored by his looks, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, do we have any questions for today? Do we have any like
Yeah,
ask us
actually,
questions?
I was actually about to plug in our questions right now.
Ooh,
Um,
questions.
so this is the segment where we answer y'all's anonymous um questions. Woo! So yeah, if you do want your questions answered by us or need any advice that you want to hear from us, go ahead and send us your questions at ask.fm slash the pillow talk. That is ask.fm forward slash the pillow talk. And we will be answering all of your pressing questions. So let me just kind of pick from which ones? Let's see. Hmm. Oh, okay. Do you have any tips for a first date?
Oh my god. Okay, so actually with my current boyfriend, so we hooked up. That was the first thing that we did, right? But then he was like
Oh
so
my
cute.
god.
He was so cute because he was like, I've never been on a first date. And yo girl is really good at going on first dates. On a first date, usually what I do is I will try to get the car and like pick up the person and I will take them everywhere that it is that we're going, but pandemic. So with this first date that I had, and I feel like it's my favorite first date that I've ever had with any guy that I've ever dated, and it is with Albert. He picked me up and we went and got Fujiyamas. That's a restaurant that we have here. Shout out to Fujiyamas. I love Fujiyamas. They have amazing bento boxes. We picked up Fujiyamas, and because we're still in a pandemic, we took the Fujiyamas to a park and we ate Fujiyamas in the car while we people watched. And that was like the cutest thing that I had ever done. And we just kind of like sat in the car and we were talking about each other. We were getting to know each other, eating food, really good food, I might add. And we were just people watching at the park. And that was it. I felt like that was the cutest date. That's a really good idea. I think for like a cute first date is like, some cute food, go to the park. I think that was a good first date. Well, what about you?
Um, I've had good first dates. I've had not so good first dates. I think my advice for a first date would be dress comfortably. Don't dress too like fancy schmancy. I guess depending on the venue, like where you're going, right? Dress appropriately for
Mhm.
the occasion. And I hmm. I used to go with my friends like to my first dates.
I
Like
remember I got to go on one.
oh my god. But like they would be like incognito in the
Yeah.
back.
Mhm.
Like, cause I was, like, always just terrified of meeting, like
A
like,
creeper.
randos. Yeah, like, I didn't know who they were, and, like, I was always scared of, like, going on my own, so I'd always just end up bringing them along. I would go in first, and then they would, like, follow behind me after a while, and, yeah, and also, I
I think
mean,
I got to go on two
if
of those, right?
I think so. If y'all are, like, um up for going incognito with your friend on their first date and if they're, like, really nervous,
I
I
feel like
say
it's
do it.
important because I used to do that too. I'm not even gonna pretend like I
Yeah,
never did that, but I did it too a couple times. Because like you never know who you're going on a date with.
yeah. It's scary. It's a scary world out here. And, like, also, you have the friends that are like, "Oh, well, text me and let me know how your date goes," or whatever. But if you can bring a friend just in case so, like, you feel safe,
Mhm.
I say do it. That's, like, something that I would do. Also, like, this goes without saying, just be yourself, you know?
Yeah.
If you if you see any red flags, just excuse yourself and then
Just be like, I
run
have to go to
away.
the restroom, take your purse with you or your bag or whatever, and then
Yeah.
scamper on off and never return. Block the guy out of embarrassment, and then
Oh my god, and if you're dating during the COVID times and you're not, like, comfortable with meeting up with them or, like, you wanna meet up with them, but, like, COVID and all that stuff, just go to, like, an outdoor setting, wear your masks, just be safe. I know dating during COVID times is very hard, trust me. I
these
went on a
COVID
date
times.
I went on a date and, like, yeah, I was, like, really uncomfortable with, like, the idea of going to, like, a restaurant and sitting in the restaurant and just, like yeah, I didn't eat anything, we just drank wine, but I still felt really, like, uncomfortable, so I
Yeah,
haven't dated anybody since then. Um, but yeah, let
I'm
me go ahead and look
I
for
I am sex crazed. I'm kidding.
oh
Um,
my god.
but yeah,
And
I've
don't kiss on the first date. Don't kiss on the first date.
too late. I already did.
No, I'm talking about our viewers.
Oh yes, yeah. Don't kiss on the first date. It's not good unless you're
Every time
gay.
no, every time I've kissed on the first date, it always goes badly. Like, I've noticed I mean, it could be different for everybody else, right? But for me, like, I've noticed that whenever I've kissed on the first date, it just never lasts. So, I guess that's my trauma that I'm passing on to
Oh
y'all.
Um, no, I mean,
Um,
like, it's good, not to kiss on the first date. I feel like I'm the one that told you
yeah.
we don't kiss on the first date.
Yeah, we don't. Okay. So, um,
Do we want to answer one more
so
question?
we can answer 2 more.
Two
Because
more. Ooh.
I see a couple on here that are like, "Ooh, these are pretty good." So what would you choose and why? 1, power, 2, fame, or 3, money?
Okay, hold on. What do they mean? Like, what do you? I guess this is just between the two of it. What do you think they mean by power? Because I already feel powerful.
Jacob, I mean, I think, like, they mean, like, power in the sense of, like I'm taking it, like, as a political power,
Oh, okay. Well, I
like,
already have that.
legal power.
I already have power.
Oh my
I feel like
god.
I do have that. I guess see with fame comes money, and then with money comes fame. So I guess I would want fame, and the reason I'd want fame is because I could make money off of my fame, and since I already feel like a powerful person, I have all three. I'd have all three.
Oh my god. I think I think I'd want money because not all rich people are famous. So, I think I'd want money and, because 1, I don't think I'd wanna be a famous person, and I don't want necessarily, like, power, I just wanna have, like, my little ranch. I
If
wanna have my ranch, I wanna have my little restaurant that I wanna open up and just live comfortably and take care of my
would you
family.
be in my entourage though? If you were rich and I was famous, would you be in my entourage? You know how every famous
I
person has
mean
like an entourage?
I mean, we're friends, so I guess, yeah, I would be in your
You'd be
entourage.
in my entourage.
Yeah, I suppose I would be because we 'cause we're friends.
If a company or not a company, if a production company came to the both of us and was like, your lives need to be recorded and filmed and reality TV'd, and I was like famous, but you were the rich one, would you sign off on the NDA to be on the show in my entourage for this show?
The
This
NDA?
hypothetical. Oh wait, no, it's not an NDA. It's a different thing. Sorry, never mind. Not NDA. But would you be in my reality show?
Wait, would I well, that's what it is, like, non-disclosure agreement. So like I can't talk about what happens on the show with anybody, right?
That's not what I meant. I meant like, would you sign like the? I thought NDAs were like,
Contract?
yeah. Would you be on the show? Would you be in my Keeping Up with the Kardashians show?
I don't know. I don't think I would like to be on TV for everybody to judge.
Would you
I
be
don't know.
more?
I
I
don't
feel like you'd be like a Courtney on TV,
what? I don't
and
want to do full glam.
yeah, you'd be like, I just don't want to do glam, and I'd be like, Celia, you've done full glam before.
Oh my god.
And then
I'm not
I'd be like, even though you have a bachelor's in business, you don't know what it's like to run a business.
Oh my god.
You're not passionate about running a business because you don't know what it's like to run a business.
I am in shock. I have no words. I don't think I would be Courtney. I don't watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. But
My mom used to watch it and I would
yeah.
watch it with her, and I thought it was literally like, I was like, if these people can like it, all it takes is making a sex tape, right? In order for you to become like famosa, right?
I mean, no, that's not how
In
it
her
works.
case though, that's, I mean, she,
Well, it worked for her because she had already made like somewhat of a name for herself by
well, I
being
feel
in
like
like
The Kardashians were famous because of the OJ Simpson case.
yeah, but also like not only because of that, but because like they were like what are those called? Like
They were
socialites.
socialites, yeah.
They were socialites. They would mingle with Paris Hilton, all those people, Lindsay Lohan, you know. So I I I'm not surprised. Paris had her sex tape and then Kim followed after, you know.
I see, I see.
Okay.
So,
Well, third question.
okay.
Um I read it and I thought it was pretty interesting for us to answer. What do you do for other people to love you? That's a pretty like
Mm,
weird question, but I like it. I think I'll go first.
okay,
While you think about your response.
yeah.
I don't necessarily do anything for people to love me. People just love me.
You
I'm
fucking conceited bitch.
I'm
No, I'll
kidding.
tell you what she does. She's very caring
Oh my
and
god.
she's very like, she's always there. And that just makes me want to love her. Like the fact that she's there for me, the fact that she's a good friend is what makes me be like, Cydia, I love you. Like, and it's platonic love, and it's familial love. That's what that
Yeah.
is. Um,
I f I feel like I try to be, on, like, a serious note, I do try to, be there for people and,
you do.
be, like, sharing, like, vulnerability with people
That's important.
also helps establish, like, a closer bond to your friends or to your
Partner.
partner and stuff, being open and honest with your feelings. Um, I always like to be transparent with my friends and with my partner, and I feel like that's like appreciated, I think. And yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily do it with the intention of them to love me, but it usually, you know, helps, I guess,
Yeah.
make me feel closer to my friend slash partner.
I guess I'm
So
the
that's what
same
I do.
way. Yeah, I guess I'm the same way. I'm I'm
What are you doing?
I was fixing the microphone, sorry. Yeah, I feel like I'm the same way. I just try to be as good a friend as any could possibly be. I don't know. I've like my answer is not gonna be like super like, oh, I did this. No, like I'm just, I feel like I'm a good friend to people, and I'm a good partner to my boyfriend, and that's like it. That's
I
Just
feel
be
like
good
as long as
people.
you're honest. Yeah, just be good and like I mean it's that's like a very like generic or like broad term,
Yeah.
but I feel like as long as you're like a good person and you're honest and you're um open with your feelings,
Mhm.
um I feel like you can't go wrong with that. And you have good intentions
I
because
agree.
when somebody goes into like any kind of relationship like a friendship, a relationship, there has to be good intentions because if you're going into like a situation with bad intentions, you know, it's not going to end well for
Yes.
you
Mhm.
karmically and for the other person because at the end of the day they're going to get hurt. So you know, do
Mhm.
all things with good intentions and honesty, communication, truth. All of that stuff is super important
Yeah.
um, in establishing a positive relationship with a person.
Period.
So, with that being said, this concludes our episode. I we do want to add a little announcement. Um,
Yes.
we will be uploading once a week due to our time constraints and like our personal lives and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, we
Just for
will
a
be
while.
uploading, yeah, for a while we get into the hang of it. I think that we did uh, take a little bit, you know,
We bit
a
off a
little bit
little
too
bit
much
more
on
than, yeah, than we can chew.
than
Yeah.
we could chew. And we'll be back with more content for y'all. We just need to get the whole schedule situated,
Schedule.
schedule, and we'll be back with some more fun episodes for you guys. And we appreciate each and every one of you for listening to us,
Mhm.
and thank you to Jacob for sharing his fuckboy stories. Those are like so fun to
um,
listen to.
I have more. I'm kidding. I do, but like we'll get to they'll pop up from time to time. But yeah,
Yeah, this isn't like the end of our Fuckboy Chronicles. We'll if we do remember some more
more like
stories or some more fun adventures, we'll definitely uh bring this segment back. But
yes.
yeah, thank you to everyone who's listening and we hope that you guys are doing well, are staying safe during these uncertain times and yeah, we appreciate each and every one of you. Go ahead and follow us on all of our socials, on our Twitter and our Instagram at the Pillow Talk, and on YouTube. We're on Spotify, we're on SoundCloud, we're on Apple Podcasts. We're
We're
everywhere.
everywhere.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so thank you guys so much again. And yeah, take
We'll
care,
catch
guys.
you on the next
Bye.
one. Bye.